What's the good word, Jets fans? It's your boy DKB here. I was only planning on probably doing a video later today, early tomorrow, something like that when it drops. I had to get in here today. I had to chop it up with you guys. What an insane NFL trade deadline, right? The floodgates just opened up. I'm not even sure what all else has happened so far because my phone has been blowing up. I've been in back-to-back meetings. But we have to start off with Sauce Gardner. We have to start off with the recent news, Quinnen Williams, man. And Tyson Madden, what's good, my guy? I see you already in the building. We got 5 first-round dart throws between 2026, 2027. So we'll have the images and stuff up here in a minute. But off the top of my head, I believe we got the 2 first-rounders for Sauce Gardner and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. And then I believe we picked up for Quinnen Williams a 2026 second rounder, and then first round defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. And I think he has some injury stuff that's with him and all that. But I'm not even fully sure how to feel about this whole process just yet, right? Like, I'm trying to rationalize the decisions behind this. I can make the argument that the Sauce Gardner trade is definitely a win for us, right? You can say that, and talking loosely here, right? We'll dive into, all the specifics and stuff and, questions that end up coming out as we talk about it. But you can make the argument Sauce Gardner is not the embodiment of what Aaron Glenn will want at a corner, even though he's a leading man coverage, even though he brings, otherworldly athleticism, has all the traits and stuff you want from a physicality standpoint, from a play style mentality standpoint. He just doesn't fit the mold, right? You can look at Jarvis Brownlee and say, and have the quick assumption that this would be Aaron Glenn's guy, right? Like, out of the boundary corner position spots and slot corner, and you look at everybody that can fill those roles right now, you can look at Jarvis Brownlee, who's the most recent pickup, which, potentially makes this a little bit of a sadder story, and say that this is AG's guy when it comes to that cornerback room right now. I don't know if you can necessarily say the same thing about Sauce Gardner, right? There's also kind of this running theme of Aaron Glenn, specifically at quarterback, but I can imagine this extends to every other position beyond that as well. Aaron Glenn doesn't want a celebrity player, right? He doesn't want a guy that has all of this fame and that fame leaks into the field and it takes away. And, we have to comment on things that they're tweeting and all this other kind of stuff, right? And Sauce Gardner is a persona, a personality that's kind of larger than the football field, if you will, right? You add in his relationship with Ice Spice and all that other stuff. And there's just a lot of noise. There's a lot of, entertainment value and stuff that can circulate and surround that. And so I wouldn't be surprised, right? The temptation, the idea that you have 2 dart throws in this upcoming draft, now that you have this additional first round pick, you have additional capital from the Quinnen Williams trade, and we'll talk about that. You have the ability to package up and go get the guy you want if you don't end up landing at first overall. If you want to stand pat, if you want to trade down, if you want to do kind of this Jalen Hurts type situation where you don't love any of the guys in the first round, so you're going to continue to build the foundation and then go get the guy that you can help groom and grow around that thing. You also have, I see in the chat, I was getting ready to mention this name as well, so we'll talk about it here. You have the Kyler Murray situation, right? And I've seen that connection continue to grow here, but Operation Bohica podcast, we absolutely won the Sauce trade. So I know where you guys land. Matter of fact, let me throw a poll up because I am very curious what's it going to look like, right? Who's actually excited? Who feels like this was a necessary move for the Jets? I know in my Discord, I know as people have commented on my videos, there has been a lot of comments, surprisingly enough to me, where people were saying they wouldn't be opposed to trading Sauce Gardner if they had a package like this, where you're talking multiple first, different situations of that nature. I was never necessarily fully on board with that, but I can't say that I'm shocked that this move pulls off, right? The one thing you can say, even if you feel like it's a win early, Jamal Adams brought back a bigger return, arguably, right? You had the multiple first round picks. I think you had a third rounder in there. I think you even had another late day 3 pick. And then you had what was the safety that we brought over from the Seahawks? McDougal or something like that? All right, here we go. We got the poll fired up. Let me know what you guys think. Did we win this trade? Did we lose it, right? But let's pull up the details, right? I think this one's pretty straightforward in terms of what's going on here, but let's just look at it. And then I also want to see if I can find any details around what the cap ramifications look like. All right, so here's a pretty quick and easy infographic for us. All right, so here's the Sauce Gardner trade we're looking at. We have Sauce Gardner going to the Colts, which, by the way, I did see that he tweeted out something either minutes before or some level of time before the trade was officially announced, where he was saying like peace out to New York. Which also you have to imagine, by the way, speaking of his brand and stuff, that takes a hit. You're going from New York / Jersey to Indianapolis, where, you know, that even the people from Indianapolis that I've met on rare occasions say there's nothing out there. There's not, you know, a ton going on. So we'll see how that continues to work for him. But also good on him, right? 7-1 Colts team. They were looking for defensive help. He can be that final piece. He probably gets traded to a team that he helps get a chip right out of the gate, which, you know, good on him. But we look at it here. So 2026 first round pick. You're talking about the Colts. I'm mentioning them potentially being Super Bowl champions, right? So you're talking about a potential top 5 pick for us. You're talking about a potential 32nd overall pick in the draft now, right? So ideally, you can make the argument here, unless the Colts fall off, unless something really goes astray, you really traded Sauce Gardner for a second-round pick, a first-round pick next year, which if they're this good and you see the pieces they have, Jonathan Taylor, if Daniel Jones can continue, we know that offensive line kind of stays stocked up. They're adding to the defense. You can make the case that that's probably going to be another late first-round pick as well. You'd rather have it than not. But second rounder this year, effectively, first round next year, and then Adonai Mitchell, who is a guy that I don't want to say he's on par with like the John Mechie the third trade, but he's not a household name. He's a guy that's had a lot of promise, a lot of potential, hasn't capitalized on it just yet, right? But he's been in a situation where when he's had the ample opportunities due to injury, etc., he's thrived. So you feel really good about the pieces that you're trying to add into this wide receiver room, and maybe the net total, right? Let's say you get, I don't know, maybe we play our way back into the first overall pick, right? Maybe you get you a Mendoza, you get Adonai Mitchell, who actually ends up looking good this year with us, and whoever ends up being the pick next year, right? Maybe the totality of those 3 guys ends up being better than the 2 All-Pros, two All-Pro seasons, plus, because you expected this to kind of be a trend for Sauce Gardner, that you end up shipping away there. I don't know. I think this is one where you're literally going to have to look at this about 3, 4, 5 years from now and say who got the better of it, right? You need to essentially hope that Adonai Mitchell gets an extension, and you need to ensure that you hit on whatever this pick ends up being for this year, right? Next year, obviously you want to do the same, but specifically in the right now, in the short term, you need to make sure you can capitalize on that. And hopefully it doesn't come by the fact that we have to package that and move up for somebody depending on how the draft shakes out, how we want to attack this thing. But at least give Darren Muji credit, right? He's pulling off trades. I've been asking this the whole offseason, which is why this is crazy. And this is why I also kind of have a problem with the Quinnen Williams trade. And we'll kind of transition into that in a little bit here. But Sauce Gardner makes a little bit more sense for the reasons we stated. You needed to do, like in the series of events that happens, right? Darren Muji, Aaron Glenn, signed, hired, however you want to look at it. You extend Garrett Wilson, you extend Sauce Gardner, you extend Jermaine Sherwood, you bring in these culture guys, these guys that proven themselves, at least with the last regime, and they've done it at a pretty high level. Why turn around 3.5 months later and flip him to a team, right? Again, it doesn't make a ton of sense. I want to see what I'm hearing about the cap numbers and stuff, but circling back on a question here, real cat in the hat. You mentioned, would I trade for Kyler? I personally would probably say he's going to be immediately better than any quarterback on our roster, but I really don't want to be in like this Tua Tagovailoa type situation where you have a guy, he doesn't have the traits. He's not going to do the same level of things at a high level based on how our roster is built. Does he give you some level of a safe floor? Yeah. But I think specifically in our environment, with the weather conditions we have, the way the stadium is, like generally how we handle roster construction and stuff, I hate going for guys that just have the traits and they don't necessarily have the consistent skill set. But I think you do need that guy. You need to have someone that has a certain level of arm strength, which I wouldn't say Kyler Murray is going to be in that boat. You need to have a guy that has a certain level of moxie. Like, I don't want to go and sign or trade for the guy that needed to have it wrote in his contract that, what was it? He needed to do a certain amount of playbook studying per week. And like, he couldn't play, video games or whatever nonsense it was that was actually in his contract. I don't want to go down that road, right? And I can't see that being something that's appealing to Aaron Glenn either. GM's Island Empire. Yeah, we're going to get into this Quinnen Williams situation here in a moment too. I find that trade a lot more insane than this one, but even if I feel good about it, again, I don't feel like we just outright won any of these particular trades. Like, again, Sauce Gardner brought in less value than Jamal Adams did at a premium position, right? Safety versus cornerback, you're going to target the cornerback 10 out of 10 times. Quinnen Williams, why didn't we just bite on the trade? I know there was still a lot of promise to the season and stuff like that, and, hopes of trying to turn it around, but why didn't you bite on the trade when they were dangling Micah Parsons out there? And I know that cuts back on the value, right? Because you look at what we got back, again, first round pick from 2025, in addition to the second rounder. And I'll throw the infographic up there again in a minute. But if it was going to be between these two guys, like, yeah, give me Micah Parsons, right? And I'll figure out the Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald situation. In fact, I would say that probably would have made that edge room one of the most elite, if not top two, in the NFL at that point in time, right? Because when you talk about Will McDonald, you talk about him as a pass rusher, right? You talk about him in the same vein that you do guys like Bryce Huff. These are going to be the guys that specifically are coming in pass rush situations. You're hoping to be up in a game. You can give them more snaps at that point in time. You're hoping to pin their ears back, see dog, get dog, right? So I don't know. That one feels like a little bit more of a loss, but yeah, Outlaw, I'm with you. We have to hit on the picks, right? And we can't just say hit on the picks as in, okay, well, yeah, they did enough for us to get a contract. Like, whoever this next pick in the draft is, you need to be in the upper echelon of your position group. You need to play like a top 5 player. And maybe it doesn't need to be right out of the gate, right? But by the time that rookie contract is up, you need to feel really good. And I know the comparison here isn't apples to apples, and it's going to suck a little bit because Sauce Gardner 4th overall pick versus what you're talking about here being, 32nd overall pick or whatever. But like if they have a Jermaine, let's put it like this, right? If they have a Jermaine Johnson level of success, and I don't care if it's offense or defense, but just so you guys kind of get the picture, Jermaine Johnson wouldn't be enough. And as much as I love the guy right now, you wouldn't consider that a win, right? If you hit on your first pick, that was yours to begin with because you failed this season. But if you get a Jermaine Johnson type impact from whoever you're picking at 32 or wherever they officially end up landing, you're not going to call that a win after losing, again, a multiple all-pro player, a guy that played at worst like a top 5 guy at his position on his worst day, right? And again, also keep in mind, cornerback is one of those positions extremely volatile, right? Pat Surtain is the guy that arguably people always consistently have ahead of Sauce Gardner. And there's stretches of time where even he ends up getting the short end of the stick when it comes to, why the team ended up losing, right? A play here or there that someone just happened to, convert it against him, different things of that nature. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But obviously, this means a couple of things. One, you have both of the blockbuster trades. So you have to imagine Woody Johnson signed off on the fact that, hey, I understand you guys didn't really have much of a war chest going forward. Stock it up. I'm giving you your chance. You're going to have, let's just say the 3 years, utilizing all of these picks to get things together. And at that point, no excuses, no questions. I know they're going to go through the whole kumbaya if there's no playoff mandate and all that kind of stuff. But the assumption is going to be you guys need to go out there, get your guys, hit the ground running immediately. You built your foundation. Now you're adding your support beams and your roofing and all that kind of stuff. Get your quarterback, make things happen. It's still insane. Even as I'm talking through some of this stuff right now, I'm really still trying to get a grasp that we're not going to see Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner in green and white anymore. And in fact, these guys are probably going to go on to have much more success without us, which was probably always the idea in mind, right? But for as happy as I am about them, it still also just kind of sucks because this is the repetitive situation that we always seem to find ourselves in. We luckily hit on a first rounder. We developed the guy, one of the better, if not one of the best at their positions. And because we can't get the offensive success going, the consistency going as a team, we end up having to offload these guys. And generally, I would say it's probably for pennies on the dollar, right? Cowgirls should have took Quincy too. If I remember correctly, the Cowboys traded earlier in the day for Logan Wilson from the Bengals. So it wouldn't have made sense. Plus, Quincy, we're probably talking about trying to get a day 2 pick for, I think they traded a 7th rounder for Logan Wilson. So yeah, I won't knock them for that. I think they definitely won that deal. There's no reason to win another game this season. I don't want to go in that boat, right? It's just me personally, right? I am never a fan of trying to tank or anything to do with having to go out there and lose and stuff like that. But it is going to be harder to imagine, right? You're doing it without 2 cornerstones on defense now. I think you could probably get away with it at cornerback, but at defensive tackle, that whole run defense for good stretches of time, and I'm not just talking this year, this was even in Robert Saleh's days, he really was the run defense. Like you've seen the splits with him on the field versus after when he was taken off, and it's not great. It is absolutely not great. Okay, I'm going to continue going through some of these chats here in a moment, but I want to see what I'm hearing about kind of the contract, the cap, all that good stuff. And so far, I mean, I'm looking at the poll I put out there. So far, the overwhelming conclusion is that the Jets won the Sauce Gardner deal. I'm going to do the same thing for Quinnen Williams when we really start diving into him. But I'm surprised. It feels like a lot of you are a lot higher on this then I feel like we should be. I'm not saying it was a terrible trade, but again, just in the grand scheme of things, a player at the top of their position, multiple all pros, you already have a contract that, yes, it's a large deal, but it's already in place. You don't have to deal with negotiation issues and stuff. And again, in my mind, you effectively get a second rounder this year and a wide receiver that, is probably a wide receiver 2 or 3 at best. And I'm talking about in terms of if he can prove himself. And then that first rounder, but the 26 class isn't that great, and turn it down to the bare frame is only a good idea if the people you have in place to build it back up actually know what they're doing. I will say again, I think that Darren Muji, as you see these moves progress, you see the direction the free agent class has been trending in, at least with the players that we retained. You take a look at how the draft class has been able to step up to various degrees. It does look a little bit better for him, right? And again, I think day 3 is where a lot of people felt bad, and you can go back and consider that maybe some things would have worked out if they a little bit better, if they were a little bit more aggressive. But I'm still comfortable with what I have personally seen out of the front office so far. So it looks like in their announcement, it's for the Sauce Gardner deal anyways, they confirmed all the stuff that I just showed on the screen. Everything's pending physical. So I know that AG talked about Sauce Gardner recovering from the concussion, and I don't imagine that'll be a huge issue within the ranks of the deal getting done. I'm still I'm still getting news flooding in on my phone. I see stuff that Breece Hall is putting out there about being shocked about the deal. I don't see much in terms of the contract and stuff. So when I do a follow-up video about these, just kind of recapping it and again, some of the general thoughts, I will touch base further on there, because I'm sure once I can actually dig in, once I can really dig in, I have a lot more details there. Is this supposed to be oblong ring along? Hopefully I got that right. No, Kyler. Yeah, I'm fully not in on him either, though. I think that'd be a silly move. I knew this year we were punting on. I knew we were punting on this year because next year we're going to be spending a lot. I don't even know if that's necessarily the case. Like, yeah, every year to a certain degree, we end up spending a ton of money and stuff. But I think that's just in general, right? It's usually like the top guy at a position of need that we're really looking for. I think they'll still be pretty strategic, and because it's the Jets, you're going to have to pay a little bit of extra tax there. But I think we're scheduled to be top 10, top 12 in cap space, and that's before whatever happens with some of these moves and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily even look at this as a teardown. Like the Sauce Gardner one is shocking because you have the guy going into the prime of his years. Again, locked in. Contractually, things look really good, right? You're not even really paying him the big bucks until 2027. Quinnen Williams makes a little bit more sense as a guy that I always kind of imagined was going to be moving on anyways. Aaron Glenn is going to get the guys he wants. Yeah. So like Sauce Gardner, as I was touching on earlier in the stream, right? Sauce Gardner, I think, makes a little bit more sense. He doesn't necessarily encapsulate the vibe that I get from Aaron Glenn, not to say toughness, but the physicality, the aggressiveness. Obviously the skills are kind of there, but he wants corners that are going to, put that helmet on the crown of the football when they're coming up in the run game to make tackles and stuff like that. And that's just not really that's just not really his bread and butter, right? He's making business decisions. He's worried about being able to go out there and make plays on the ball, or at least lock down his side. And I said this at one point too, and it wasn't to be disrespectful, it wasn't to be crazy or have anything out there, but when you look at the totality of what Sauce Gardner's done, he's done it at a much higher level than what we've seen. But what is the difference realistically from him and Bryce Hall when it comes to how effective they've been in the defense, right? When Bryce Hall was, at the top of his game, and we were seeing him play like a top corner himself, not a top 3 guy, but he was definitely up there on a top 10 list if you want to look at it. It was the fact that these guys weren't really forcing turnovers, right? And then again, you have the component of that coaching staff didn't care as much, but you had the component of run defense, right? And what that actually looks like, what that means, et cetera, et cetera. Where is, I just saw one, but where did my graphic go for Quinnen? Because I want to kind of change gears a little bit and start chatting about him. Oh, maybe I was tripping. Did I not see one? Okay, well, either way, I will just put it up there, and I already have the details. But let's chat about it. Where'd you go? All right, so we have our breaking news. Quinnen Williams traded. So what we officially got, it is not here on the screen, right? But what we officially get was Cowboys are getting Quinnen Williams. Jets are receiving a 2026 second round pick. And that might be like a mid to late round pick, based on how we're seeing the Cowboys play. Maybe they bounce back after some of these additions. Obviously, I would assume it's going to be kind of a later pick, at least if Prescott continues playing the way he's playing. But then you get 2027 first round pick, Mozzie Smith, which was a guy that, if we were looking to trade down or anything like that, I could have seen people wanting to target, right? But an older rookie, he's already 24 years old, and he is a guy that has been having some, if I remember correctly, he's already been having some injury issues. Hold on, let me dig real quick. So, quick scope through. Last I see, he was inactive for week 6. Why? Okay, so looks like a combination of injury and or underperforming, right? He's just not living up to the billing of being a first round pick, which is not great. It's not great. I don't remember covering him a ton leading up into the draft coverage either, because I just wasn't expecting us to take a defensive tackle necessarily in the first round. But from what I believe, there were a lot of questions around his ability to go out there and consistently make an impact, as well as some effort issues, right? And those are never things that you really want to see either. Now, I'm going to throw up the Quinnen Williams poll here as well. But the overall conclusion for you guys was that the Sauce Gardner trade was a win for the Jets. We'll see how you feel about the Quinnen Williams one, because I have strong opinions again about this. But let's see. All right, we got the poll up. Let's get into some of these comments real quick. I don't know how Kyler and Glenn fits. I would agree. Take Dante Moore and Carnell Tate in the draft. I don't think Carnell Tate. Like Tyson, in your situation, one of the things I've been paying attention to with this group of quarterbacks for this draft class is, one, there's a lot of what do they call them? Why do I want to say under freshmen? Undergraduates? Underclassmen. There we go. There's a lot of underclassmen in this draft. So a lot of these guys have the potential to go back for a year. They can, look for eligibility extensions, stuff like that. There's a ton of these guys that could go back, right? So this class may ultimately end up boiling down to like Dante Moore and everybody else. So if you don't get the first overall pick, and you don't end up trading up, there's the potential you can kiss him goodbye. And then you're looking at a class of other people that nobody really falls in love with, right? And I haven't really taken a super hard look at these guys because I'm waiting to see kind of how all that gets ironed out, which is going to be much later. But it's not a class that people, even if everybody stays, feels really, really, really good about, right? I think the love for like Dante Moore and Ty Simpson and some of these other guys is growing, but I haven't seen anybody just absolutely head over heels about any of these guys. And then with Carnell Tate, he's like making the claim to be like a top 10 player at this point. So now you're talking about having to trade way up from the late first round to pair him up, which wouldn't be a problem per se. But you'd also hate to try to build up all this capital that you're getting, and you got to package these picks up to go and get these guys. But if you hit, you hit, right? So I'm not going to be mad at it one way or the other. But still, just saying, right? I wouldn't hate the pairing. And obviously you want to try to have as much elite talent right out of the gate around him, like a wide receiver room of Garrett Wilson, Carnell Tate, Adonai Mitchell, John Mechie III, and then Arian Smith all being developed behind G5 sounds like music to my ears, right? So I wouldn't hate it at all. Also got to expect Jermaine and Will McDonald IV to be moved too. I don't know. That might be overkill. I talked about Max Mitchell this morning. I could see him being moved. I could see one of the two between Jermaine and Will McDonald being moved. And Jermaine Johnson already came out and said he talked to the front office. He's not expecting, anything to happen. I keep seeing a ton of sources come out and say that Will McDonald is kind of like an untouchable player, even though he doesn't bring the total overall ability that Jermaine Johnson does. But it seems like they really value what he can do as a pass rusher, assuming they can get the offense, above water and able to put him in advantageous situations. But if they were to trade one of those two, I would still be pretty surprised, right? Oh, okay. I thought I just saw something crazy come through. Hold on. So we have 1 hour left. We'll see if anything else crazy comes up. As of now, our wide receiver room for 2026 is Wilson, Williams. Who's Williams? Who's Williams? Am I tripping? Garrett Wilson. I see you have Arian Smith. You have John Mechie. You have Adonai Mitchell. Who the hell is Williams? Why am I tripping? Am I tripping? Hold on. Yeah, am I? Hold up, y'all. Let me pull. Don't do this to me. Let me pull up the depth chart because now I feel like you pulling a name out the blue. Oh, Isaiah Williams. I got you. I got you. Yeah. I don't know why in my head I keep counting Isaiah Williams as like a running back or something. Yeah. Wilson, Williams, Smith, Mechie, and then Mitchell, which is an improvement over what we walked into this year with Reynolds, Johnson, Garrett Wilson, to a certain degree. I mean, the veteran presence probably gives them the bump, I would imagine, but these are guys that you would feel more comfortable with being able to make something happen here, right? So far, you guys feel like Quinnen Williams, the trade here was a win. I don't know how, but convince me, change my mind. Still need a safety. Yes, absolutely. We absolutely still need a safety. That room is really Malachi Moore. And I think that's it, right? I think it's literally just Malachi Moore. Andre Sisco's done. He had the 1 year. Tony Adams, 1 year. And Isaiah Oliver, I think, is 1 year. If y'all want to jump on with me as well, chat some things through, feel free. Drop the link in the chat for you guys. Yeah, safety room's going to need a complete overhaul. I got happy. I was talking about Jarius Monroe as a potential option. Someone mentioned that we had brought him in for a workout a couple of days ago. I'm still clinging on the hope that we bring him back. I really loved what I saw from him out of the offseason. And if not for injury, I still think he would have made the roster. But like, yeah, we need some we need some pieces, right? Because if not, you're going to be relying on Malachi Moore as the veteran in the room going into his second year, and then you're going to have a bunch of newbies around him, whether that's a combination of veterans and stuff. Regardless, he's going to be the guy that's looked at as the playbook aficionado back there. And I think you can make that work. He seems to be a pretty smart kid by all accounts and stuff, but not the way you necessarily want to set up a room or try to build that pipeline. Does anyone see the pattern here? High Karate. Drop it for us. You let me know what you think. I know I put mine out there in terms of how we're handling our first round picks and stuff like that, but kick some knowledge to us. Who takes his place? So, yeah, one of the things I will say is Briggs' efficiency numbers based on the snaps that he's got received. They've looked really, really good, right? Now, keep in mind, he's technically playing as a second string guy, but he's probably realistically playing like, second string, third string tier guys. Can he take that jump up? Who knows? But he at least brings the frame. He brings the physicality. He's bringing the play out there on the field that we're seeing. But I think Harrison Phillips is immediately who you look at and say, can he replicate what Quinnen Williams is doing? No, but he's going to be the guy that people look to. They look to have the answers to now in that defensive line room, specifically in the interior. To me, the quarterback is the last piece to get. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. Like, this is such a multi-layered conversation, right? But you have the fact that the college game is getting more and more distant from how NFL football is played, right? It's all about explosiveness. It's about the creativity, all kinds of mind-boggling things that the coordinators are coming up with in order to just get plays, score points, right? And it doesn't matter how it looks in terms of the uniformity, even the play calling, order, any of that kind of stuff. It's about just going out there and being able to get the points on the board, which isn't a bad mentality to have, by the way. But it's a completely different game, college than the NFL. So you have this underdevelopment. You have these quarterbacks that aren't going through really a ton of reads anymore. They're not being asked to really have a play call sheet, if you will. Playbooks are kind of being scaled back from my understanding. You have, of course, the lack of just organizations overall in that new, I was going to say NFL, NLI environment where more teams can kind of hoard these guys and kind of develop them behind the scenes, if you will, or have these guys waiting in the wings, whereas these other teams generally would have probably had a chance to grab them for a year and at least get some kind of value out of it. And then you get to the NFL and there's no patience. There's really not a ton of quarterback coaches and or offensive coordinators, one, that can either develop these guys, or two, are willing to really craft their playbook around what they can do right out of the gate and then try to expand that as you work on getting that development done. So if you aren't confident in your ability to get a guy to be that upper tier player, how do you build in some insulation there? You make sure you turn into a college football team. You turn into the Eagles, essentially, right? Where you just have such a wealth of talent around him that if he can't succeed, it's just because he can't play, right? Because the argument with Jalen Hurts, for example, is, has he looked good? Yes, he should, right? But what happens when things are breaking down, right? And what's the justification, even with what you're seeing at times like this season, where he's struggling to get AJ Brown the ball, or he's not quite connecting with Dallas Goedert and some of these other targets, and he's taking a bunch of sacks that he really shouldn't need to. And you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield to really take a lot of pressure off and stuff. So I won't say it's the last piece, but there's things that I can make the argument I would put ahead of it, especially if you don't fall in love with a quarterback in this draft class, because again, a much more nuanced conversation, but you can get a guy at the quarterback position with traits in any round of the draft. And you can say, I'll figure it out, right? Some guys obviously are going to have better floors and stuff, but if you want to just focus on the traits, you can get that guy at any point. You can go to the UDFA ranks and probably find that guy that slipped through the cracks but has the rocket arm and throws off platform and has all these crazy things going on. I love Sauce Gardner. I'm shocked, but I cannot lie. We did get a good deal back and a young wide receiver in AD. I suppose, again, I'll leave it to you guys. I think I'm just more surprised that there wasn't more picks coming back, I suppose. And then kind of like, what's really the story behind why this trade was done? Like, I know I'm saying he's not necessarily an AG guy and stuff, but how do you go from extension to let's unload him for a couple first round picks and, a wide receiver? We know we need to improve the room. And I can't imagine the wide receiver is the totality of that conversation, right? Because we were linked to Adonai Mitchell around the time many of the other teams were, probably going back to 2 months or so ago, and in just a straight up trade, you probably could have got him for a fifth round or something like that, and still kept Sauce Gardner. So like, what's the thought process? What's the story? I 100% can't wait for the press conferences. I was going through the Jets YouTube channel because I was like, are we going to see a press conference drop or something like that? Because I need the understanding, right? I need the thought process behind this and how this happened. Yeah, and I don't see anything scheduled. The next thing we have is the post-game press conference. So we'll see. It was a good time, I guess, for Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji to pull a move off like this, assuming they knew they weren't going to necessarily have to talk to us really as well. Now we have to root for the Colts to lose. Yeah, 100%. I'm immediately hoping that things fall completely to pieces for them. And maybe we can start bumping that thing up to like a mid-round pick or something, right? And you got to remember, we're still paying Aaron Rodgers, also Mike Williams, and also paying a lot of the restructuring contracts. So we have to basically give one and done deal. Yeah, there was like the way we handled free agency made a ton of sense to me, because they didn't want to have to overly commit to any of these guys and stuff like that. But they still wanted the opportunities and the advantages of being able to see, can a guy come in, pick up the playbook, and outperform expectations, in short order. We need a tight end too. It's fair, but so what I can see happening, right, is I can't remember the name exactly. I feel like this is it. But I can see you bumping Mason Taylor into your tight end 2 role, and you look at him as more of the do-it-all tight end type of guy, like an upgraded Jeremy Ruckert, basically. And then you look to someone like Sadiq, the tight end. I feel like it's Ali Sadiq, but it's a different name. I think it's someone with a K. You look at someone like Sadiq and say, here's our true receiving threat, right? Here's the guy that maybe can block well enough, but this is a guy that we expect to be able to go out there and give 5-6 targets to, and he can turn that into 80 yards, 60, 70, 80 yards, and we can guarantee ourselves, a touchdown in the red zone, something like that. It just came out that the Jets want a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson. I don't know about just came out. I've been seeing this whole like when the Brees Hall stuff about wanting a third rounder for him came out, I was seeing the same thing about for Jermaine Johnson. And this was maybe like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I just happened to be traveling, so I didn't really make any videos for it. But yeah, like if you look at how these trades shaped out, if you can get a second rounder for one of these guys, I would say that's a win. But yeah, I don't know. Jermaine Johnson's my face of the defense right now, especially after Quinnen and Sauce got booted. And I want him in place. I think the team responds a lot better to him and his play style, his personality than, really anyone else on the roster. And you kind of already heard Jarvis Brownlee, both FSU guys. You kind of heard him talk about that relationship and that synergy and kind of being the alpha dogs, if you will, in that room. Yeah, same here. Rumors. What does this mean? Just more stuff coming out? Isaiah Williams has emerged as the new Xavier Gipson. Was Isaiah Williams an undrafted free agent too? Let me see. Yeah, I don't see anything about him being drafted. Bro, you just posted about Isaiah. Hey, stall me out. I said I was thinking about him as a running back, like him being stuck in my mind as a returner and stuff like that. It got the best of me. Calm. JJ and Brees might be traded too. Yeah, I don't like Brees and Max Mitchell would be the next two names that I can think of, right? As most likely. Like if you were willing to go with Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, then I can't see what's stopping you from trading Brees necessarily, other than there would be some concerns and some questions around the depth of that room. But again, I'm an Isaiah Davis guy. I would love to see him get some more snaps. But outside of that, I wouldn't say I'm as comfortable with trading Brees anymore. And you guys know how I feel about Jermaine Johnson at this point. UDFA with Cincy. Okay. It's about what I expected. I loosely remember kind of what he has going on. Okay. Quinnen Williams trade. Jumping back into my thought process around this, right? So with Quinnen Williams, where are you guys at in the poll, by the way? So yeah, it seems like you guys are okay with the Quinnen trade as well. Crazy work. Yeah, that's crazy work. But so really, this is a timing issue for me. So when you had the opportunity and Jerry Jones was really pressed to try to get Micah Parsons out the building, he wanted to do Quinnen Williams. And let me see if I can find exactly what some of the loose details were again. But I think they wanted to either do a straight up Quinnen Williams for Micah Parsons trade, which still would have been a win for us, right? I think when you just compare the two and their kind of status and their lines of work, you can consider that a win. But I think it was that they wanted to give us Micah Parsons, and they either wanted a pick back from us or they were, hold on, I think this is it here. They either wanted a pick back from us in addition to it, or they were willing to give us Micah and a much like a day 3 pick or something like that. Let's see. No, this didn't really tell me much. Michael Parsons, Quinnen. Well, damn. Of course, now everything's going to be flooded. with the recent trade news. Okay, what's this it? So this was back in September 14th. So no, it says that he was willing. So he wanted Quinnen Williams, and he was okay. So he wanted picks back. He wanted Quinnen Williams, and he wanted some picks. Um, and for him, I'm assuming it's probably going to be high picks because they got Kenny Clark, All Pro, and then they got 2 first-round picks out of him. So it was probably too much to facilitate that trade. But I think you have to try to make something happen. And I'm gonna bring in my guy Outlaw here because I'm very curious to see what you got on your mind, my man.
Salute, man. Salute.
What's the good word, my
Man.
man?
Wow. What I can't even believe today, man. I don't even know how to feel right now, man, because it's like Sauce Gardner is that guy that we just, we seen grow up, you know what I'm saying? We finally got that cornerback that we've been looking for to kind of replace Darrell Reeves and stuff. And then we
Facts.
just traded him away, man. It's just like, wow, I can't even believe this right now. But I will say, I was a little pissed off at first, and then it's just like, I'm looking at it, it marinated a little bit. I'm just like, all right, that was actually a good trade. That was a really good trade
You
because
gotta
we did
talk
get a
yourself into it now, huh?
right. I had to talk myself into it, man. So you got to give yourself a little minute, because we definitely watched these players throughout a couple of years and stuff, and we have been going through a lot of struggles with this team. So, I will say, I just felt like, and the reason why I said in the chat that I felt like we was punting on this year because you seen how the free agency went. We was basically just getting like 1 year deals, one stop gap deals and stuff, and prove it deals basically to see who's going to be a part of this culture going forward. And Aaron Glenn didn't really get his guys and stuff, so that's why I knew
Right.
Aaron Glenn, like, his job wasn't in no type of danger, but he will have to show next year that it's going to be progressing into the right direction. So of course, like I said in the chat, like, we're still paying Aaron Rodgers, still paying Mike Williams, and we're still paying some of the restructured contracts that we have been doing from the last regime. So next year we're going to be spending, and we're going to be a lot more competitive. So this year was basically just a prove it year and to see who's going to go forward with the in the culture. And I just see that Sauce Gardner, just like you broke it down, man. Like, Sauce Gardner is a type of player that he's not a tackler. He's not really a aggressive, something like an Aaron Glenn
Yeah.
wants, like probably like a
He
Browning
wants
Jr.
he wants like a Devon Witherspoon.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And I just feel like, man, like, I was just hoping Sauce could have just fulfilled those shoes because listen, like, I really like Sauce Gardner, but it was just like he wasn't playing to his top ability. But like I said, I really,
I had
I'm
high
still in
hopes.
a little bit of
Preseason
shock.
looked really good for him, my man. Like that Packers preseason game had me
Oh
hyped. I was like,
yeah,
all right, he's in there. He behind the line of scrimmage. He ready to bust something up. Uh,
yup.
but I didn't think he was going to carry that through for a full season. I thought maybe we get like 6, 7 games of that, and then you kind of see it trail off. But I don't like you don't bring any picks in the building.
I
You're not
know.
gonna last
Because he
long,
doesn't turn
man.
his head around. He doesn't turn his head around. That's the only problem with Sauce. A little too handsy, doesn't turn his head around to actually see the ball and stuff. And he's just, he just likes to slap the ball away or, tackle the person. But he's really good at that. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. He shut down
Facts,
a lot of wide receivers. DK also is a person that he shut down as well, too,
facts.
all the time that I've seen. So it's just like, Sauce Gardner, he definitely had his moments, but it's just sometimes in the zone, he gets lost. And then, similar to how happened in the Buccaneers game, like, he just doesn't have that connection with the safety. And then he ends up like turning some other way, and then somebody else is wide open. And then he just
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
looking around
say
like, hey, what happened?
that was one of the big things with me for sure is that when it came to not even just in not even necessarily in zone either, but like some of those man concepts where it starts off as man and then you see him kind of trail off and break into a zone, like a fire zone shell or something like that. Anytime he needed to communicate with the safety or he's trailing and passing it off to slot cornerback or something, it was never his fault.
Right.
Everything was always, and it was the same move. Like he runs off to the boundary, and it didn't matter what
Hmm.
the receiver was doing. So I'm like, what is happening here? Like, why does this? But it was, I could never tell, right? He's an intelligent dude. I think you hear in the press conferences, he tends to know what he's talking about, picks up the defense well. So I'm like, is he really fouling up, or like also he does a lot of like blame deflection. So even if it
Right.
is the other dude
Right.
screwing up, like you wanted to be a captain in this room, like we kind of heard him crying about it a little bit in the off season. You have to be able to put some of that stuff on your shoulder, like the quarterback, right? And say like, this is my fault. I'm gonna make sure we get on the same page, same accord. We'll get this ironed out. You know, we're gonna take that pick next time, whatever the case is. We never really got any of that. Like he's
At
captain
all.
material, I would imagine, but I think he's like,
Still got to
no pun
mature a little
intended,
bit.
he a little
Yeah.
lost in the sauce. Like his own greatness, he just kind of feeds into that just a little bit too much, I think. And he's like, I can't necessarily do anything too wrong. Like my screw ups aren't costing us the game. So
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, he definitely had to take a lot of blame as well too. And I was hoping that he was going to fulfill that too, because they're looking for that leader. They're paying you that big money, so now
facts.
you have to be that mentor to actually get to gather the guys around, communicate. And it just seems like Sauce Gardner is really not that type. He's more like I would say like like he's a person that just plays the game and
Yep.
then tries his best to try to lead, but he just doesn't have that voice or anything to do it. But yeah, he did do a lot of blaming, just like how him and Whitehead used to get into it a little bit on the sideline as well
Yeah.
too, because they had a lot of miscommunications. If you did see the Buffalo Bills game of last year,
Yep.
so it was just like it was a lot going on, man.
You know what I'm
But
thinking of
I
hearing you talk? I can't think of, I'm trying to think of the NFL at large. Like obviously I'd be tuned into the Jets, but like I can't think of another guy that had a record setting contract that wasn't a captain on a team.
Exactly. You're absolutely right about that. And that's why they're paying you the big money for you to, be that captain. And yeah, you have to be that captain. You like if they're paying you that money, they're looking for you to actually be that leader. Kind of like CJ. I mean, CJ Mosley was our defensive quarterback. Like
Yeah.
he was the person that was the anchor. The person that would gather up the people. And he wasn't much of a talker, but he was actually a leader. He was a lead by example as well too. So when we lost that, you could tell it was a lot of downfall on the linebacker position and stuff. So he's kind of missed as well too. But it was his time and everything because he was getting a lot of injuries. But as far as this trade, man, I would say it was definitely a good trade. And
Oh shit. Hold
also
up. Pause
okay.
that. Hold on real quick. Let me go grab my battery. I just see my shit dying.
Oh
Hold up.
shit.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I bet we good. My bad. My bad. I didn't even see
No
I was
problem.
running.
No problem.
I
Yeah,
run that.
man.
I think you was jumping into the Quinnen trade.
Yeah. No, I was basically breaking down like the Sauce trade. I was like, man, the Sauce trade was actually really good. We got EAD Mitchell's, back from it as well too. So I feel like that was actually because we got a young, wide receiver that's probably a 2 or 3. You basically said it as well too. So we got to just see how that happens with the roster and everything, with him and Garrett Wilson, because we was definitely lacking when it came to wide receiver, because we was all
Thanks.
looking for that number 2 wide receiver, because it's just like we cannot roll into the season with the weapons that we have at wide receiver, because we already know what Alan Lazard is and we never trusted him. And then it's just like we got these other guys and it's just like they're not that much of a good weapons and stuff. So that's how I was just like rolling into the season. I'm like, we might not be that good this year, and it's not fair to Justin Fields fully because he didn't get that many weapons. So I would say I'm glad that we did, make that move to get another wide receiver. So that was actually good job by Muji of getting a young wide receiver. And as you can see, every time we do make trades, it's always with a young player. So they're always
Yeah.
trying to go young no matter what. So that's what I do like to see as well too. So, Brownlee was definitely a good trade
Yeah.
as well too, because
Fire
he
trade.
automatically he came in and made an impact right away, especially in that Denver game, which we should have won, but that's in the past. But anyway, but
I think I think too, like because I think John Mechie was like a speed guy coming out of college. Adonai Mitchell was like a speed guy too. So it's kind of
mhm,
continuing that trend. Like I know we reached a bit on Arian Smith, and we'll see how that play out. But like they're at least committing to what they're looking for in some of these players and these traits and stuff they like. So I mean, I can't say I'm overly happy about how everything is played out, but
me
um,
either.
for how they trying to set up the team and some of the stuff they talked about, they're at least consistent about it.
Yeah, they are consistent about it, and he is sticking to what he said, that he's looking for fast guys and people that will fit his culture and people that are willing to put in that extra work and stuff. So and also the Quentin Williams trade, I'm still a little iffy about that.
I
That's
found
the
out
one I'm just.
I missed the whole pick, so
Oh
I
really?
thought we just got the yeah. I thought we only got the second round pick this year and Mozzie Smith. We got a first round pick out of them next year too. So I'm all for it. I'm
Oh
all for it.
really?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. All right, yeah, because I'm happy we're gathering up these first round picks and stuff, and also the second round pick. That's when I was just like, all right, good, we got another second round pick, so that's actually really good. Uh, I would say, man, like it was time, because I knew Quentin Williams, he was getting tired of these losing seasons and stuff. So I'm actually happy for him that he's actually going to a team that probably is going to be a contender. I don't know. Well, not probably this year, because that defense is kind of terrible for the Dallas Cowboys. But I will say, he's going to a brand new start. You know what I'm saying, of a new organization, whatever. So hopefully he does what he does over there. But it's just like, man, I just really hope that we hit on these picks, man, because that's the main thing. We have to hit on these picks. If we don't hit on these picks, it's gonna be really bad.
yeah. Nah, like I can't be as mad. Like even if we didn't get that first round pick, like I thought, I can't be as mad about the Quentin one because it's like, all right, he's hitting 30. Like even if we do get
Yeah.
good, right, you probably expect it's going to be right around the time that he starts to, wear and tear. He getting aged, getting beat up. You got to start cutting back his reps and all that. Like the Sauce Gardner one,
Exactly.
those picks you got to hit on because you need to find a way to replace
Yes.
having a consistent All Pro caliber player, even if he didn't bring all the other stuff that we want, like the physicality and the
Mm-hmm.
turnovers and stuff. You got to have a guy that's able to perform up to that level, or that's just a flat out fail.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. And then it's just like, as well too. How do you feel about Brees Hall? Do you think he stays put, or you think he's still out there? Because there's rumors right now that he wants to be traded. I don't know. That's just rumors. You know
Yeah,
how this is rumors
like
situation going on.
this stuff is weird, right? Like anytime, so like when I see teams that have multiple first round picks and stuff, uh, I always get curious, like what the dynamic looks like, right? So when we brought in, and I know Brees Hall wasn't the first, but like they basically look at him as being part of that like package, him, Jermaine Johnson, Sauce, Garrett,
Yeah.
and it looked like the trio ended up really being Brees, Garrett, Sauce, and then Jermaine Johnson was just kind of hanging out on the
Sauce.
back end, like I need to put my work in.
Yep.
So Brees just saw. Brees has been seeing his boy Garrett Wilson ball out while he's flailing. He's seen his boy Sauce Gardner get traded now. He probably don't give a damn about Justin Fields. And it's like my shelf life as a running back is already being cut short. So, like, what ties do I really have that's going to keep me here? I'm probably going to have to fight for a contract, and I'm not really earning it necessarily. Like, yeah, get me out of here. Let me go, right? And like I don't want to just let go of any of these guys with pennies on the dollars. So if I'm looking at it like, yeah, if I can't get that third,
Right.
maybe a fourth
Hold on,
out
I'm
of
breaking
Brees,
up a
then
little bit.
like I'm not really considering it. Um, But I don't know. Like the NFL is weird. I know the last 2 years they've kind of been more on the kind of more on the up and up with tapping back into like the veteran running back market and stuff like that. So I'm sure every team would love to have him. Will they give up a third for it? I don't know. That's tough. Maybe they settle for a package of like a fourth and a sixth or something for him or something like that. But I don't know. If we can't get multiple picks or we can't get that third, I don't think I'm really considering it. Oh, we might have lost my boy for a minute. Meant to put AZ for Lazard. Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah. Oh, that's another one though. Maybe we get rid of Alan Lazard. I think right now, right, the top guys would still be Alan Lazard, Brees Hall, Max Mitchell. Uh, those would probably be the three, right? Max Mitchell has a connection. Again, talked about it this morning with the Chargers. Um, Max Mitchell with the Chargers, Brees Hall, technically with the Chargers too. I forget the other team that they might have had him linked with. Uh, and then who did I say? Oh, and then Alan Lazard, he would be with who? The Steelers, if they still want to scoop him up. Oliver and Rucker or
Yeah.
Simpson, he can easily give you a third. I'm not trading Simpson. Isaiah Oliver and Rucker could go, but
I wouldn't do that
Simpson
either.
stays for me. Yeah, you don't want to create holes just for the sake of having holes. Like even if so, like if I look at it, 9 times out of 10 in a rebuild, if I have my offensive line mostly figured out, I'm set. Like at that point, I can
Set.
start kind of like plugging in pieces, right? And you can get lucky on a guy here or there, whatever the case looks like. But finding offensive linemen is just way too
It's
hard these
hard.
days.
It's way too hard.
Hard as
And they're
hell.
expensive too in the free agency market as well, too. So
Man,
that's another thing.
who's that guard they got paid last year? It's like 80 million or something crazy. And it was
Sheesh.
like dude was like maybe a one year breakout or something. Um
I don't
who
remember.
was it? Top guard signing Adam Zeitler or something like that. Who was it? Um Come on now, do me justice. Oh yeah, Kevin Zeitler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. And then he went to the Titans. So it's like, if you the Titans, you pissed.
All
If
right.
you the Titans, you pissed. You just spent all this money on the guard, and your offensive line hasn't been able to do jack to help out the running game
Nothing.
or Cam Ward out there. Like, nah,
Oh, easy. He's out there getting killed.
you getting
Oh
murdered.
man, he's the leading sack in the NFL right now. To be honest with you, so it's really bad for the Titans right now. So yeah, you got to make sure you build up that offensive line, and that's something that I learned from us this like these couple of years, man. You have to build that offensive line up to protect that quarterback because man, the market out there for when it comes to offensive line is not out there like that. So the best thing to do is get those draft picks and definitely draft one of those the best offensive line that you could get because man, we definitely been going through it. I'm just glad that we actually building up, the left tackle, the right tackle, and we're gonna have to see what happens with ABT as well too, because that's another question mark as well too,
Yeah,
because he's always also been a lot. He's been injured. He's been a lot of inactive of
I think
these couple of years.
I'd like to have him back because I think it really is just a problem of like the man just can't stay on the field. Like I got no problems with what he does when he's out actually out there, but I would probably let him lose too. To be honest, it's just too much risk.
Mm, yeah, I would probably too. Joe
Because like,
Tipton's actually doing good in that position right now.
yeah, I mean
Not
he
the
looked good
best,
earlier
not the
on too.
best, but
I mean he's flip flopping. Going, I know. Well, I know he said I've heard him in a press conference saying like playing guard is much easier than center because you don't have to worry about all the nonsense and he already knows the calls and all that. But Like I wouldn't be mad at it. I would assume he plays pretty good the rest of this year. He gets an off season to keep working at it. Like he ends up maybe he's not AVT, but he's like literally a notch below him or something like that. I'd take it. I'd take it. Oh, I thought I saw another. Is this not us? Yeah, no, this ain't us. I thought I saw another trade come
My
through.
connection's messing up.
Let me see what the Brees thing I keep seeing pop up on my phone is. Brees Hall, cryptic tweet. What's he talking about? Where's it at? Oh, is it a okay, so he just posted a GIF.
All right.
So Brees Hall posted a GIF.
Oh man.
Okay, it's not much of nothing else. It just looks like he's waiting. I guess maybe he's seeing if he's gonna be traded. I don't. Man, we be overblowing shit all the time.
I know. That's why I was saying that he had posted something and everything about him just waiting, or I forgot. It's like a little grift and stuff. So
yeah, it's just like I can't remember the dude's name, but he's on. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. But I see something from Jordan Schultz saying that Brees Hall said he wants out.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying.
I
I seen
haven't
that as
seen
well
anything
too.
about it or anything with that, but
Right, nothing like too official saying anything about that.
I
It's
mean,
just a lot.
19 minutes
I see.
left. If it's going
They also said
right,
Jermaine
yeah, 1
Johnson.
o'clock.
That the Jets is looking for a second round pick for Jermaine Johnson, and again, that's another rumor. So it's just out there
Yeah, it's
right
been a
now.
lot. It's been a lot. I don't think you can offload that many key players from your defense though. Will
Right.
McDonald gonna
Exactly.
Will McDonald will be in a hellhole. Like he gonna be so pissed because teams is just gonna be rushing at him all day. He probably never
All
gonna
the
really have a
time.
lead to get after anybody. So now you wiping away any chance he has of really looking good. And then you don't have Quinnen funneling stuff anymore.
Nope.
Who's behind him? Like Quincy's probably still staying. You got Jamie in, but none of those guys have really looked good in run defense necessarily.
Oh, and let's not talk about
Uh,
Clemens.
yeah, yeah. I thought I saw something about him too, though. Like they were saying, what was the rumor? They were willing to let him go for like a fourth rounder or something.
Who for Will Clemens?
Yeah, let me see what it
Oh wow,
was.
somebody wants Clemens. I'm shocked.
Hey, hey,
If there's a market out there, hey man,
please. Yeah, I
can
forgot.
take
I
him.
meant to drop a video and then I ended up having to travel. But what was it? I think I saw something from X Factor. There was like, there might be some interest and it looks like they're willing to let him go or some shit like that.
Hey man, all best to him. I would definitely be all with that one. But man, I'm
I
shocked
don't
right
know.
now, man.
We'll see, man. I'm waiting. Like, if we see another trade come through, I think it probably would be Brees Hall. And then we're probably, since it took so last minute, you probably are looking like maybe we don't get a third outright. Maybe they do like a conditional pick based on how he plays or some shit like that for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But we might be done. But if so, if they are done, I will say they at least did a really good job of stocking up the draft capital again because it was looking pretty light, right? I think we had the first, the second. We didn't have a third. I think we
Mm-hmm.
might have used up all our fourth round picks, and then we had like 3 or 4 6 rounders or something like that.
Right. Now, quick question: do you use one of these picks to try to get a wide quarterback? Because I'm hearing that the 2026 draft is not that strong when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
hearing Kyle Murray. I think I heard a little bit what you said about Kyle Murray or Shador Sanders or something like that. Would you ever entertain that?
I'm not rocking with Kyler Murray, but I will tell you, I don't know if he'd take him first because that'd be crazy. You picked him up in the fifth, you ain't even really want him. But
Right,
I
right.
would probably flip something against your door. The only issue is I don't see him and Aaron Glenn rocking and necessarily
I
mesh
hear
real
that.
well because he's that
Absolutely.
celebrity quarterback type of guy I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I would do it because, in my honest opinion, we don't want it because I know it brings a lot of noise and stuff. But that's the kind of person I feel like you actually need in our market because oh shit, what is this? Oh, I feel like that's the person you actually need in our market. Is somebody that is plays their best in the bright lights for one. They have all the physical traits and all that good stuff, but they're talking the game and they almost feel like they have to do it not for their own sake, but they're kind of like playing for the media and shit like that, if you will. So
Right,
it's kind of
right,
like
right, right.
they're putting the pressure on themselves. The media's putting the pressure on them. They're feeding into it, all that good stuff. He's kind of like he will remind me a lot of like a Baker Mayfield type.
Mm.
I know we haven't really seen him play or anything yet, but like that's the kind of like personality vibes I get out of
He's
him.
gonna fill a lot of seats. I will say that. I will definitely
Facts,
say that. He's
facts.
somebody that Jermaine Woody Johnson would be like, yes, we got our person that we could raise these ticket prices to. So that's what he's looking
Yeah, because
for.
I
He's
think
trying to
he's tops in jersey sales overall, not even just as a rookie, right? I could have swore
crazy.
I seen him up there. Hold on. Shador Sanders. Yeah, I think he was going crazy because then I remember like part of whatever drama he had this off season was the fact that uh he was reworking some kind of contract to where I guess he gets the like more money from his rookie
Mm-hmm.
sales too. Sanders consistently ranked as number one selling rookie jersey. Okay. He holds the fifth highest jersey sales in the entire NFL. Like, see,
Wow.
yeah, it's
What? That
with
is
the Browns,
crazy.
bruh.
With the Cleveland Browns. Wow. This man has not even start yet. I mean, listen, man. If that is on the table, I probably will do it because, like I said, I see the potential that he does have. He does have that that stardom to him as well too. But he could also play. He could definitely play. But like I said, I don't know how he would fit with Aaron Glenn because Aaron Glenn wants that quarterback that is all about just working and getting the job done and go about your day. And he doesn't want all the media hype or that celebrity or over social media and stuff. He wants somebody that's going to actually focus and be about the job and stuff and get the job done.
Yeah,
So
hundred
that's
percent. I
basically
would say I was a little disappointed early with him on too, though, because I was seeing reports that like he was having like multiple speeding tickets or infractions or some shit at the facility, and
right.
like a couple other issues. Like, yeah, that would have sent Aaron Glenn over the
Really?
edge. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
see
there was
that's
on his helmet. There was on his helmet. It was during like
oh
OTAs or
man.
something. And I remember all the reports dropping. They're like, damn, actually, he's had multiple speeding infractions or whatever the case is, on top of some other stuff. I was like, yeah, he's fucking up.
See, that's the problem right there because that's something that Aaron Glenn does not want. Like distraction is one thing, but off the field stuff is a whole different situation. I already know Aaron Glenn wants that squeaky clean type of quarterback that is willing to work and stuff. So him getting like tickets or him being in the media for the wrong reason is not good for your typical franchise potentially quarterback and stuff. So yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, man. How do you was there any trades that you would have wanted us to see Wilder and like try to go make happen? Like the one that
Um,
comes to mind for me would probably be like AJ Brown because I know they got a lot of drama over there.
yeah, but I don't think we was ready for AJ Brown to be honest with
Yeah,
you
hell
because of
no.
the quarterback. Yeah,
We weren't ready
we would
for
have
it,
had to.
but yeah, you probably need him in the building. But yeah, nah,
Right.
he would
Because
have
if
been
he's
fixed.
complaining about over there and they're winning, can you imagine if he's here? So I can't even imagine that. But I will say Myers was somebody that I was looking from the Raiders. That was somebody I felt like was a good wide receiver that could have came over here and we could have just paid. And he would have been that solid number two for sure behind Garrett Wilson. So that was the person that I was seeing that could have really did it. But I'm happy with
Bobo's a
AD.
cool one. He's like 27, 28, something like that, ain't he?
Yeah, he's still 27, 28. Yeah, he's around that age and stuff. And he's just looking for a new contract and a new situation. So that was a player that I was definitely looking forward to
That might have
probably
been a
try to
little
go and
too
get.
old for them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Man,
they're looking like they're looking
I'm
for
thinking,
24, 25 and younger.
yeah, they want someone. Yeah, they say I
They
don't
don't
want to
want
see
no
you sore
veterans.
walking out of the weight room. You doing crazy?
Right. Man.
Yeah, I can't. Jacoby Myers would have been a good one. I think he probably would have fit better than someone like an AJ Brown. But I can't really like the list of names that was out there from the NFL trade deadline weren't even like it. I wasn't overly excited about anyone, even if we were going to be buyers. But I remember seeing some kind of stuff like we were searching for another kick returner, I guess, before Williams ended up
Right.
looking decent again. And I thought I saw something about like another guard, maybe.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, listen, we could use another guard, to be honest with you. Joe Tipman, like I said, he's holding it down. He's solid, but he's not the greatest. AVT, like I said, we probably gonna have to move on for him because the best ability is availability. He's been injured almost every season, so it's just like it's basically that time, that we gotta probably get the person that we need to get and stuff. But man,
You
I'm
think
just in shock.
you think how things played out, we getting any more wins this year, or you think this hurt us?
Oh man. Typical Jets, you know what I'm saying? How we do, we win games that we're not supposed to win and stuff. So, especially if we're in trying to get that first pick and stuff, even though I don't really, cater for tanking or anything, but I do believe that we probably could win against because hey, look at it. We just beat the Bengals without Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and it's really coming down to coaching, to be honest with you, because I just feel like if we use Justin Fields the way we're supposed to use him, basically how the Bengals in a game that we had against the Bengals and stuff, I feel like we could actually win some games. But the way how it's looking right now in our roster, I don't really see it. The only game I could really see is the next game is basically the Browns, to be honest with you. But because the defense is actually looking like the defense that we're known for the Jets to a certain extent. But now you're losing Quentin Williams. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, but I don't know, man, about the quarterback position, man.
I'm not worried. Like, if we lose, I assume it's gonna be something dumb, like 3-6. We lose 3-6 or something stupid like that. But
right,
like I'm not worried about Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him either. He could barely see over his offensive line, so
tough. Yeah.
He could barely see over his offensive line.
That's tough. Okay, so we got Browns, we got Patriots,
yeah,
Ravens,
that's what I'm looking right now too.
Falcons.
Oh yeah, well that's a loss.
So Browns, Dolphins, Saints. Those would be like probably the next 3 winnable games, because then otherwise it's Patriots twice. Wait, what? Oh no, we played them already, huh? Patriots, Ravens, Falcons, Jaguars, Bills. Oh no, we do play them twice still.
Yeah, we played them twice. Yeah, we didn't play the Patriots yet.
The only ones I would feel decent about is the Browns, Dolphins,
Saints. Yeah, and Saints.
Yeah,
but even though the Saints in the Superdome is kind of iffy though.
I don't see them being happy about their quarterback situation. They're gonna pipe down a bit.
Right. I just got to see how the defense look, because like I said, we do have like a little linebacker situation. Sherwood hasn't been playing his best football as in late, so I definitely got to see how that come along. But yeah, I'm starting to like the cornerback position a little bit, even though Sauce Gardner is gone. But I'm kind of surprised that Brandon Stevenson's actually stepping up a little bit. So
that's the wow. Yeah, man. I can't wait to do my recap video later. I'm not even peeping the full scope of the thing, because now that boy done moved into your cornerback 1 spot.
Yeah, he's your quarterback 1 now.
Hey, yo, people about to have a field day on us, man.
Oh
Because he's
man.
bad or anything, but I'm just thinking of the
He
community
was
at
he was
large.
getting better at number 2, but now he's at number 1. I don't know about that.
I just deep. Man.
Lee. And
Okay,
that's
hold
kind of setting him up for failure
I have to
too.
see from again. What we looking at here? So we
Okay.
have Stevens, we have Brownlee, we got Quantez, Stiggers, Zaria, Isaiah. So Jarvis probably stays at slot. Brandon
Mm-hmm.
Stevens is cornerback 1 now. I guess Zaria Thomas is CB2, unless they feel good about Stiggers.
Not that high on
1,
Stiggers, but
2,
Stiggers.
3. Oh, we only really got 4 cornerbacks. Stevens, Azarie, Stiggers, Brownlee, Oliver, and he kind of moonlight between safety and corner. Yeah, we looking a little light at cornerback.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah, that's gonna throw me off though. Yeah, I got to start thinking about this. Brandon Stevens is CB1, and he has to play. Who the hell did I say? Who's the Browns' top receiver? They have. Who the hell do they even have? Who are they throwing the ball to?
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I'm trying to pull it up
Browns wide
now. It's
receiver.
crazy. Who the hell are they even throwing the ball to? So they got David Njoku, that's cool. Isaiah Bond, Jerry Judy.
Oh yeah, Jerry Judy.
They have
Okay.
some names at least. Corley's over there. Jamari Thratt. Yeah, they don't really have.
Oh, Corley's over there. Oh, okay, I didn't know Corley got picked up
The
over there.
practice squad dude. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that wide receiver room. So he gets to go
Yeah.
against Jerry Judy. Then he gets. Let me see what's the schedule again. So Browns, Jerry Judy, Patriots. They got Stephon Diggs,
Yeah. I think we
Ravens.
lose against the Patriots, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man, it's not looking good. I definitely want to steal some games from them though, because I hate that they
Right.
better.
I know. Yeah, because they spent this off season. They did the total opposite that we did because they're already comfortable with their their quarterback and stuff. So, and Drake
Needham.
Mays.
I thought Needham was practice squad. Yeah, I think Nick Needham practice squad. We're gonna have to elevate that, man. Let me see. Oh, they don't have practice squad on the depth chart here. That's cool. Ravens got who? They got goddamn. They got Hopkins
They
and they
got
got Bailey
Hopkins.
and they got
That's a
Zay.
loss. That's a
Yeah,
loss.
that's not gonna look good. Hopefully it's like one of those revenge games where he just end up balling out and it's not like but yeah, that's
Hopefully,
not good.
but Lamar Jackson, the way how he's playing right now, and what he just did to the Dolphins and made them look
Boys,
foolish.
take these games and shit out this facility. We are sick as losing. Get this shit out of here till we get
Right.
That's funny. Yeah, so that's not good. Falcons got Drake London. That's bad.
Yeah,
Dolphins.
possibly
Who's next? Tyreek Hill's out. So Waddle.
Waddle. Yeah, that's the only person that you got to probably worry about. But we got to see what tool we're gonna face. So that's another thing.
Who the Jaguars got? Jaguars lost Travis, so they got what's the old boy name? Brian Thomas Jr. That could be
Mm-hmm.
bad. Who the hell do the Saints have? They just traded Rashid Shaheed. Who do they got? Who do they
2 more
have?
minutes. Is Brees Hall gonna stay alive?
Chris Yeah, nah, there's still some people he got to play. Yeah, I thought last year I remember some news trickling out like a little bit after the trade deadline was wrapped up. Like they still have some stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Some news after the trade deadline that already happened, but that wasn't
Yeah, like it
reported
was,
and stuff.
and they was just waiting to process or whatever. Like the NFL front office,
Got
whatever
you.
the case was. Yeah, nah, this schedule I'm not happy about though. A couple of these
Yeah, I'm not
squads still
happy
got
about
some
it either.
voice.
Like I said, the only thing that made me feel like we see our defenses came back a little bit. better, like than what it was in the beginning of this season and stuff. So the defense have stepped up a little bit more, but it's just not to the extent that we could probably win a lot more games and stuff. But
Facts.
man,
You know what? I might have to start peeping this depth chart they posting on the team website a little bit more often because they didn't already the boys had already pulled Quinnen into Sauce and them off.
yeah, they already pulled them out. They wasted no time.
They already gone because I was looking at it at first and my brain wasn't registering. I was like, where the hell is Quinnen in them at? And I'm like,
Right.
already
Man, this is not gonna sit right with me this season, man.
no time. That's great. Yeah, it's tripping me out because I just restarted a franchise thing that I was redoing in Madden and like them boys.
Oh man.
I have to get them up out of there already.
Sheesh, man. And you know what's crazy? I kind of skipped this year in Madden because last Madden I was balling, because I had Aaron Rodgers, I had all those Devontae Adams, I had Garrett Wilson. Oh man, I couldn't lose. But of course, they couldn't do it in real life, but I did it in the video game. So
I end up throwing it up every time. Like, bro, I think I got sick of all the new Maddens. I went all the way back to what what Madden is that? Which one is Mahomes on the cover of? 21?
I think so. I haven't brought Madden in a while until like these past 2 years.
Yeah, bro, I didn't buy none. The last one,
Yeah.
last one I bought, I didn't even buy it. The wifey got it. Yeah, so
Got you.
He's on Madden 20, 22, and 25. So I must have 20. Yeah, I got 20. Yeah, I got the digital copy of 20, bro. I went all the way back to 20. Tried to play the new one, got pissed. So I just started resetting everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm not rocking with this.
I hear you, man. I definitely hear you on that.
That's funny. Yeah, I might have to go cop me a new version though. Just so
I mean, listen, I definitely copped last year because I'm just like, oh yeah, the team is actually much more better. We got Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. I'm gonna be slinging the ball to Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. We just had a lot of pieces. So I'm just like, oh yeah. And then that was the most times I've seen other players actually picking the Jets and stuff. So that was a shocker right there.
Facts. Yeah, everybody was sending.
And then Mike Williams too. So that's another player.
I'm like, you ain't never picked the Jets before this,
right? Never did. Oh, it was so many bandwagon. Oh, I was like, wow. I was just shocked how many bandwagon players that was out there that was just picking the Jets left and right. I'm just like, wow, okay. That's how you know that your team actually is doing something. So when we lost all those games, I'm just like, what? How? Like, how is this happening to us right now? Like. So man, but how do you feel about Justin Fields, man, so far?
I'm not. Nah, I am like having. What did he have over 3 games? Like maybe 70 yards or something crazy like that. That can't happen. Like that can't happen in the 1950s. Like how the hell do you have like 100 total yards over 3 games? But what be pissing me off the most is just like I'm not even like a raw fiery guy. Like even when I was playing team sports, like I was more so maybe like the Sauce Gardner dude. Like I'm gonna go out there and show you I can get it done, and then we talk in private or whatever the case is.
Right.
But yeah, like he just be so nonchalant sounding. I'd be like, bro, I need some kind of fire, like. Even if you call yourself out, like, yeah, I know it looks like shit right now, whatever the case is, I'm working on it, whatever. But he keep defaulting to this praise,
and peace,
blessings, and your kung fu panda and all that. I'm like, I'm not here for that.
Man, it's tough dealing with this media, man. It is not meant for a lot of people, man. And as you seen Zach Wilson, he was getting booed out of the stadium like left and right. I mean, I could just remember that Jaguars game on Thursday night. That was a terrible game, man. They booed the mess out of him. So,
it's what like
it was definitely warranted.
When we see the shit we've had to go through with like a Zach Wilson, with a Justin Fields, like even with Aaron Rodgers when he was playing like certain games pretty bad, like Like, damn, just give me Bryce Young or somebody then. Like,
Right.
what are we doing here?
Right.
Like, can I get an average game? Can I get a decent game? Like, can I get 180 yards, a touchdown, and an interception or something, and it at least looked like we was playing football out there? Because half the
Exactly.
time it's 58 minutes of defense, and then we watch the offense go out there for 2 minutes and it be trash.
Exactly. And all we were seeing was basically punts left and right, and it got so bad. I'm just like, I might as well just bet on the punts and stuff. So that's what I was doing watching Zach Wilson. I'm like, listen, if I'm going to sit through 3 hours, I might as well get paid through this. So we was just punting the ball left and right. And Zach Wilson, he just couldn't hit nobody, or he would overthrow somebody, or couldn't throw a screen pass. It was too much, man. That's why I was just
I get to
so.
the point of the season where I start when I want to start putting out content about how well the kicker and everything is doing. I'm like, we're not going nowhere.
Right, we're definitely not doing good. And then if you have to start doing mock drafts in October or around Halloween, then we're not doing good at all. And we've been doing that for the couple of we've been doing that for a couple of years. That's why I feel so bad for a lot of Jets content creators and stuff, because it's really bad, man.
Man,
And
they
I
were
just hope
killing me in the Discord because I'm like, they already asked me about quarterbacks and all that. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about this.
Absolutely.
This wasn't even on my radar, and I already got to start trying to do heavy research. I'm like, it's some BS. I'm sick of this.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people was calling for Waddle and Bradley Chubbs from the Dolphins, but the Dolphins didn't make any moves. Yep.
Saints picked up Penning, so I guess we keep it Max Mitchell. I don't even know if I'm as surprised about the trades, more so as like who it is that got traded, or I guess that we didn't do more.
Right.
Wait, what was this? Who this? More deals are see, this is what I thought. More deals trickling in. Well, damn, who else got traded? All I saw was Penning. I doubt we're gonna be involved in any more of this, but I'm not trying to be surprised when we jump back.
Hopefully, I mean, listen, I still want Brees Hall, man. That's the person I still want around. I just hope that we do pay him. But man,
you still pay him? Like I don't know. The numbers I've seen aren't crazy, but like I think 4 years, 40 million was the last thing I saw.
Mm-hmm. Wait, would you move on from him? I didn't hear your take because I was dealing with like connection issues.
It's up in the air. Like you definitely better with him than without him, but it's
right.
like I don't know. I just don't know if I would pay him whatever the extension is going to cost. Like
even if it's like a 2-year or 3-year deal.
Yeah, because I'm assuming he gonna want like 7, 8, 9 million probably.
Sheesh, yeah.
I mean, like
for his play,
even like a decent above average running back right now, I think they do like 4, 5, 6 maybe. So I know where he can be. Like when we've seen him play and he on top of his stuff, like I know we've seen him look like a top 3, top 5 dude or whatever. But like he's never, outside of his rookie year, maybe he's never consistently been out there and just made me think like, damn, yeah, this is.
He was actually carrying us in the rookie season. I was just like, man. But until he got hurt, and then after that, he just kind of lost a little speed. But then it's just like it's like we're not really game planning around him that we're supposed to. But I feel like, I mean, especially the last regime. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett. Oh my God! It took until like week 12. He was like, oh, he could actually catch the ball too.
Hey,
I'm like,
don't even.
Oh my God!
Some of the shit I hear these coaches saying, bro, I'm just like, keep that to yourself. Why would you?
Exactly.
Why would you put that in the? I had no idea Garrett Wilson knew how to run routes. What are we doing here?
It was so clueless. I'm just like, man.
Fired immediately, bro. If I'm Woody Johnson, bro, I'm going in there with a hacksaw. What do we? I'm be an owner in jail, bro. Because what are we doing here? I heard you talking about you didn't know he could catch. What the hell?
And then the thing is, you can't even fire him because Aaron Rodgers would have been in his feelings and stuff like that too. So
Aaron Rodgers, Fuck hacking. A
For real.
whole
I
lot of
could
y'all can walk out.
exactly. And that's the problem that we did, man. We was basically kissing up to Aaron Rodgers, and that was the problem. The Steelers are doing it the right way. It's been like, listen, you're on our team, and you're gonna run our system, and we're gonna run it like how we want to run it. And you're not getting under the guys, you're gonna work with the guys that we have here. Boom. That's how you do it. But we were just kissing up too much, and we messed that up, man. We really did. But
Yeah, I don't be having it in me to go down that shit.
that
It'd
shit
be
it was
crazy. It'd
terrible.
be crazy because my sons be trying to ask me about little stuff, and they be seeing me watch football, and I'm like, it hurts to go down memory lane to try to teach you about what's happening here.
Man, I mean, listen, if they are Jets fans, I just hope that, next year is going to be a lot more better, that you could present it a lot more better to them and stuff, because this year is definitely not a no-go year for it, for
It's
sure.
never this year. It ain't been this year for 20 something.
Yeah, I know. We're going on 15 years and not making it to the playoffs. It's getting really ridiculous now, man. I just hope that next year, I'm not gonna say I can't even say nothing. I just hope that we can hit these picks. Let's just put it like that. We gotta hit these picks first before we even could talk about the future or anything. But
Facts.
I
I feel good though. I feel good about
I
it. I
feel
think
good
Jeremy
too.
killed the first 2 days, so I'm like, y'all got extra ammo on top of the fact that they can't, like, we hired them pretty late, so they didn't, like, remember they skipped the Senior Bowl, they skipped I think they skipped the combine for the most, like, they skipped all the big events and all that too. So I'm like, cool, y'all got a full season under y'all belt, y'all got the off season to fully get prepped. Like, he still
Exactly.
probably got a couple front office hires he could make and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm like, I feel good. I just don't like the way the class is shaping up just from what I done peeped so far.
Yeah, because I'm hearing from a lot of, I don't really watch college football like that, but from what I'm hearing, it's like this quarterback class is not that good. It's not no Jaden Daniels coming out. It's not no like a Cam Newton or a Lamar Jackson or a Baker Mayfield or somebody or any of that
That's what I'm
caliber is
saying, though. I
coming out.
think it's gonna be harder to see guys like that these days because, like, everybody flip flopping, so you don't really have like a program guy anymore for one, and then for two,
Right,
like, these guys just they not really getting developed the same no more.
right,
Now
and
you just basically betting on the traits is what I was saying. So, like, why does it matter? I could go get me a Josh Allen in the seventh round and see if I can't figure it out. Like,
exactly, and even in the trade, I mean, even in that draft that we did, was trying to get Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is not even looking that good either. So it's just like that draft was not good. And we have Justin Fields, so we're seeing what Justin Fields was. So, like I said, rightfully so, he didn't have a second wide receiver, but that accuracy got to get a lot more better, man. But
you know what? I'm curious what's gonna happen this week though, because I know when they were asking about John Mechie, Aaron Glenn was already like, nah, let's wait, let's see what happens. He just got here. Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be the same thing for Adonai Mitchell. We still might not have Garrett Wilson. I know he practicing,
mm-hmm.
but we still might not have him back either. So it's like, what we trading all these dudes, but what we about to roll out there against the Browns?
I think they know what time is it. They're trying to, try to be competitive as much as possible, but probably would probably lose. I don't know, man. Like we're rolling out a lot of pieces that is just like we're not trying to win right now. It's just like more. It's more like how they were saying retooling. Now we're going more into a rebuilding now. Like this is a full rebuild now situation.
Yeah, man, I still got questions. Like, we ain't seen Jelani Woods since we scooped him up. Like, we got
That is
question
true.
marks. And it's funny because I always, like, I be thinking about it. All right, the rebuild is cool. I always expected there was going to be a rebuild no matter what he was talking about, unless we did something like the
Retooling,
Patriots this year.
what
But,
he was
like,
saying.
yeah, but, like, how you developing dudes when you losing and you getting your ass
That's
kicked?
true.
Like,
That's true. One thing I will say is Aaron Glenn, I do see these players actually playing hard for Aaron Glenn.
oh
I
yeah,
can't
they
even
will.
lie. I do see that even when it comes to like the first half, it's probably our terrible halves and stuff. But when it comes to like the fourth quarter, that's when we start coming back, even though if it's garbage time or something. But I do see the players actually trying. So Aaron
I'll say
Glenn
that's
still has the locker room.
but Yeah, I think they said all the good things. Like by now, normally, like even some of the shots that I've seen, it's more been like, hey, I'm not, really getting the opportunities here. And then you look at the game and you be like, yeah, I see why it makes sense, yada yada yada. But like,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't really heard nobody being like, nah, they don't know what the hell they doing, or
Right, right. Even some of the like the coaching like situation, like it's just like error mistakes, the timeout uses, and also like dumb situations, like even throwing the white flag when we could have just went to go and like what was it, the Denver game? Yeah, I think it was the Denver game when Garrett Wilson wanted to keep going and we just like basically let the time go out. I'm just like, what is Aaron Glenn doing? And then stuff like that makes me think like, yeah, we're not really trying to win.
yeah, that's when I was like damn near done on Justin Fields. I was like, oh, my man's scared to see you throw the ball. He's
Right. It's like they're petrified to make him throw the ball or anything because when Tyrod Taylor's in the game, we have nothing but passing plays. We barely even run the ball anymore. But when Justin Fields is in the game, it's nothing but running the ball. So it's like they do not trust in Justin Fields' arm at all. But when he's
yeah.
slanging it and actually getting the ball out there, and it's just those games that he's hot, and then some games he's just really, really off. And he just cannot be accurate until probably the fourth quarter, and then that's when he starts coming back and stuff. But other than
Yeah,
that,
that's too
man,
late.
it's
If
just
I could see him doing a comebacks in the third and then things fell off again, I feel a little bit better. Like fourth quarter
right.
comeback, always like
It's the
I don't
Miami
need none of
Dolphins
that
game.
fear fool stuff. I'm cool on all that.
Exactly. But I am happy with the offensive line so far. I mean, even though it hasn't been the best, but I feel like if we do get that quarterback, that the offensive line could hold up enough for the quarterback to actually get the passes off. Now, how do you feel about Tanner as a play caller?
I like him, man. I keep saying I'm gonna drop these all 22s, but that shit realizing it's just like 2 hours long. I need to try to sit down and just peep a video for. But yeah, like when I peep some of the all 22s, like that's why I be getting so ticked off watching Justin, because it's like you got this ragtag group of receivers and stuff, but he's drawing up plays where you actually see dudes getting open, like even for the bad skill sets they have or whatever. So guys are getting open. Some of the play calls he make in certain situations I don't like a lot of the stuff they do when they are going forward on fourth down or when they're in a red zone. I don't necessarily think all of those necessarily make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's pretty good. Like I'd probably put him. It's hard to say because like LaFleur had his stuff looking like top tier when they didn't have Wilson in, but like
Yep.
I probably put him about in the same bracket as LaFleur, maybe a little bit below. Um, yeah. I'm cool with him. I'm comfortable trying to like grow and see how he develop an offense. I think he need to figure out maybe replacing his run game coordinator or something, or maybe he need to
Right.
get involved in that. But like, I'm cool with Turner.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with him as well too. It's just certain times it's just like he has to play to Justin Fields' strengths and stuff. And plus, this is his first time actually being an offensive coordinator, so salute to him. But it's just like if it wasn't for the Bengals game, I was kind of done with him. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I was just like, man, he might be out of a job real soon. Even Aaron Glenn had to yell at him, and then as soon as he yelled at him, the plays was getting right. I'm like, okay, I see Tanner out there actually drawing up a good play and stuff. You had Brees Hall throw a touchdown pass and stuff. So he basically was just calling like a Super Bowl type of plays. He was like, listen, this is my job on the line. We're gonna have Brees Hall throw a touchdown pass. We're gonna have these go for 2 points, so he basically straightened up. So if he could continue doing that, what he did, I would say that he could definitely stick around, and we could possibly trust him to develop a quarterback if we do go and get a quarterback this off season and stuff. But we got to see, man. I'm just like, man, like I said, they got to hit on these first round picks, especially the Sauce Gardner picks. But I just got to see what's gonna happen, man, because they got a lot of work to do. But I'm kind of comparing this to like Denver. I'm seeing that he came from Denver. Muji came from Denver, and he's seen what Denver did that first year when they got what is his name? What's his name?
Knicks?
Who?
You talking about Bo Nix?
No, not Bo Nix. The head coach, the
Oh,
head coach,
Peyton.
Peyton. Yes, Peyton. When they got Peyton, that first year he got there, it was looking terrible. They was losing a lot of games. They, they basically had to clean house, get rid of all the old regime players and everything, and then also, they had to build up from the draft, and that's exactly what they did. And so I feel like that's exactly what Muji and Aaron Glenn is gonna do with this team. So they're basically following in that footstep right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Like offensively is hard. Like I'm not worried about the defense really, but like offensively it's hard to figure out like even with Sean Payton, I feel like it's a little different. It's a little easier because like he has a program, right? Like he's coming with a program. Like Aaron Glenn,
Absolutely.
Tanner Engstrand, they trying to figure it out, right? So like
It's a question mark.
you have like the Jared Goff vibes and all that kind of stuff, but like you don't know exactly what the perfect quarterback for what Tanner Engstrand looks like. You don't know what like the actual scheme necessarily should look like because Justin Fields can never throw the goddamn ball. So it's like you don't
Oh
know what
man.
really works so that you have a set of plays that you can feel good about next season and you build off of that. You got Brees Hall, who's kind of up and down, just depending on how things are playing out. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got now restocking the wide receiver room and stuff again. So now it's kind of like we got to try to adjust and see what these new guys are doing too, because we're gonna try to have them stick around next year. So I wouldn't be surprised if it necessarily looks bad again for a little bit before it gets better. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, we'll see. And then again, it just doesn't help that there's not like a surefire quarterback guy that everybody feel really good about. But
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking Shadur, if they do it, but like I said, I don't know if that works out, because like him and Aaron Glenn, I don't know if that relationship will work out. Kyle Murray is another person, but like I said, I don't know how that relationship with him and Aaron Glenn will work out because, it's up in the air, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like we probably get like a Jacoby Brissett next year if he's available, and probably get to that 2027 season and try to get to that if there is a quarterback out there, because I heard that the quarterback draft, as they always say, that very next year is much better, but then I guess we got to see.
yeah,
I mean, they were
I don't know,
saying
man. I really
2026 quarter. Wait, sorry, was
yeah,
that it?
but I think they was playing in they were hyping up like Arch Manning and all that too before he
Yeah,
ended
for
up getting
2026.
trash and all
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it was like, oh, he's coming out in 2026, and the Giants is waiting for him and everything, and nah, it just never happened.
that's the other thing too, though. Like I don't know why people keep forgetting about this, but like we know what our reputation is as a team. Like, bro,
Yep.
if I'm Arch Manning, like we know how they get down. We seen how the
Oh
man in
yeah,
the draft.
they
Like,
don't play.
the Jets got the first pick. Yeah, nah, bro.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, we're gonna stay another year in college.
Yeah, nah, bro. Give me some eligibility. Nope.
Right,
So like
right.
it's not even guaranteed we land the first pick that.
That the quarterback actually wants to come here.
It's not
Shoot,
even a
special.
guarantee, bro. They're gonna put a mandate out there instantly. Like, nah, nah.
I know. Oh man.
Which is crazy. Yeah, like, yeah, that's true, huh? Because I'm thinking like the Titans and shit. They never like. There's a bunch of teams that reputation wise, I feel like are definitely way worse off than we are. But like they
I
don't have a
know.
market and all that, right? So like the best we might be able to do would probably be like a Cam Ward situation, right? Like a guy that wasn't even like I'm pretty sure I remember seeing he didn't have any stars going into college and really
Right.
only looked like elite for 1 year, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, everything else was kind of like so or just all right. So it's like that may be our ceiling. Big arms, dude coming out of nowhere, and you hope you capitalize, but
Right. Man, it's all over the place right now, man. I mean, you see Sam Donald over there balling and stuff. I wasn't huge on Sam Donald,
uh,
but it's just like, man, if that Aaron, if you see, I don't even want to go to the past. Adam Gase, oh my God, that was terrible. But yeah, I just
Sick
hope that
about
we could
them.
just find that guy for us,
Yo,
man. Because
he
we,
I was watching because I was peeping the fantasy football stuff because I'm like I'm desperately trying to get back into this playoff race, right? So
right.
what I got going on because it's one of the few weeks I done cleared the room, right? I done damn near touched like
Mm-hmm.
170 points or whatever. So I'm peeping because Sam Darnold is one of the quarterbacks I think I was facing, or somebody benched him by mistake or something, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh damn, 21 for 21, 300 like 2 something yards, 200 something yards, 4 touchdowns. It's halftime, bro. I'm like, where was this for us?
I know. I know. But then you got to think about it. They got Aaron. They had Adam Gase. Then the wide receivers that we was rolling out with Sam Donald. I wasn't huge on Sam Donald, but I just know for a fact that we didn't put the right pieces around him. He didn't have that many weapons. Then on top of that, the defense was the defense good? I don't even think the defense was that good. I think we
Nah,
got rid of our defensive
yeah,
coordinator.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was just really bad. And then the only reason why like the defense got better was when we got Sauce Gardner because Stephon Diggs was killing us that year. I remember it like it was yesterday. Like he was just having a field day, probably had like 4 touchdowns on us and stuff. It was just clowning us, and it was just really bad until we got Sauce Gardner, and then that all stopped and everything. So yeah, man. But yeah, we didn't give Sam a good break. Like I said, for that year when we was drafting, I wanted either Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield. I wasn't huge on Sam Darnold because he had turnover issues and stuff,
Mhm.
but he's actually got better. He got better, but he still turnovers the ball. Even though he's still doing his thing, but still has that monkey over his back. So
Yeah, I'll take it. This the money take right here. This like I don't know why everybody be so opposed to there's always gonna be some kind of quarterback got the fancy arm and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, build up the O line and get that boy somebody to throw the ball to.
exactly. Exactly. I agree with you because this is like the wide receivers that we was getting. It was not good at that time, especially for Sam Donald. And then on top of that, our offensive line was terrible too. Like
Right.
Sam Donald was getting hit behind us as well. Like we only had Mekhi Becton. That was our lifeline right there.
We be rolling out. You be looking at the names of motherfuckers we had to throw the ball to 2 years later, and it's like, bro, I done met this dude at Walmart, Smith's, Costco. Like,
Oh man.
what is we doing? Why?
Uh,
The only reason the Arian
man.
Smith pissed me off, for example, was because why does it feel like we always overreach for the one guy nobody else give a damn about? Arian Smith,
Right.
Mike Corley, Stephen Hill, Devin Smith, um, what was the old boy? Damn, who's the other dude I'm thinking of? Either way, though, it'd be like, how
Oh,
do,
Curly. Curly was actually
uh,
okay.
yeah, Corley too. But like even him, I'm thinking he more like a 5th round pick dude and all that. But like
Yeah.
these evaluations, bro, I don't.
Corley, like my thing about Corley, eh, was how did you go into the draft? Like it was, they send each other a text message like, "We must get this guy. This is the next Debo Sanders and all that." I'm like, man, the Yak King. They was hyping him up so much, and then when it got to the season, it just like we never used this guy. I'm like, I don't have no type of film on this guy. I don't know what this guy is, and they just never rolled him out. And then when they rolled him out, he drops the fumble right in the I'm just like, oh my God. And then it's just like after that, he just never lived off of that, so we just never used him after that. So it was just, I didn't understand it at all.
Oh, Ardarius Stewart. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. Yeah, I'm sick because I'm thinking back now, and I'm remembering exactly like where was seeing these guys ranked at and stuff before I really started trying to do my own thing. Yeah, like Ardarius Stewart, Chad Henson, like who the fuck are those?
I don't
Jalen
know, man.
Saunders, Shaquille Evans, like who the fuck are them?
Kill
Like
Evans. Oh man. Quincy Enunwa was actually good until he got
yeah,
injured.
he was
Yeah,
nice.
he was
He
a
was nice, but like
monster.
he was picked where people had him being picked at. Nobody knew who the
Right.
hell Shaquille Evans or Jalen Saunders were. Like
Oh man. And you know what's crazy? The Steelers just have some way, somehow, they just know how to get wide receivers. Like
Right.
it don't matter if they get rid of the wide receiver, they just find another wide receiver. It's always been that case.
They
Like
piss me off so much.
they really do. They just
Really
have,
bad.
I don't know who their scouters are, but they have some good scouters when it comes to wide receivers because they could
I don't even
always
need us
replace a
to
wide receiver.
scout well. Like when he was putting his when HE was putting his staff together, I was like, please tell me you have a connection to Brian Hartline. Like, go scoop that boy up from Ohio State and get him over here, please.
Right, right. We're gonna have to look into the to the LSU. I mean, do you think we try to draft a wide receiver this year?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it's damn near
Got you,
mandatory. Yeah.
got you, got you.
I don't see how you
Yeah.
can't do it. Like normally when they get the quarterback, they try to do like the little wide receiver combo and all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
uh like speaking of which, who's Dante Moore's guy? Who's he throwing to? Um Damn, where is he again? He Oregon dude, right? Yeah. Oregon Ducks football. Who who he tossing the ball to? DeCorian Moore. Is that his brother?
Hmm.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't see anybody on here for them that even ring a bell as like a first round guy. DeCorian Moore, Gary Bryant Jr., Kyle Cat. Yeah, no, we don't know who the hell none of these dudes are. So, oh yeah, he might. I might have to peep him out a lot more. Then actually, that makes me a little bit more happy because how the hell you going first overall and I don't know who the hell none of these wide receivers are.
Right.
Oh, he
That's
has
true.
Kate Sadiq though. I like the
So
tight end.
they
The white
so they're
robot.
saying that people was calling for Garrett Wilson, but they said that Garrett Wilson was untouchable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look,
Yeah, had to be.
look, look here.
We're having this conversation about wide receivers. You already know he was untouchable.
Even if we didn't though, I don't know. I don't know how you keep Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji if you gave two dudes blockbuster contracts and then you traded both of them before a
Right.
year even passed. Yeah, nah. Yeah,
Yeah, that don't even make sense.
I would have been
I would have
floored.
been two through. Oh yeah, I would have been two through. I don't care what type of picks we would have
Who
got
does
back.
that?
We're just giving away money and be like, hey, yeah, you're gonna be our guy, and then boom, trade him away in a couple of games. I'm like, nah, I couldn't go for that, bro. I'm sorry. Like I was electric when we signed Sauce Gardner. We retained our cornerback, we retained our wide receiver. Because Garrett Wilson was the person that it was just like I was worried about. I knew Sauce was just down. Like he was like, oh yeah, I want to be a Jet for life and everything. Like, you know, he's gonna be he want to be a part of the rebuild of, you know, he said that he didn't want to if the Jets turn it around, that he would probably be a little bit jealous if he was on the other side, you know. So he was always gonna be down. So I got comfortable and got a Sauce shirt and everything. So I was like, yeah, Sauce is gonna be down for us for sure. But Garrett Wilson was the person I was just worried about. Like, you know, when we got him, I was just like, oh man, I'm happy, you know. And then now we just traded Sauce. I'm just like, wow.
I ain't even peeped that. Yeah, that's true, huh? Everybody bought that jersey thinking he was gonna be a
Sure
lifelong.
did. Lifetime Jet, man. I was just like, oh man.
That's out of pocket. I remember heavy too. I was gaslighting myself. I'm like, oh yeah, this gonna be the year that I finally get
Right.
New Jersey or something. Damn, see, that's part of why I don't be having a bunch of Jets merchandise either.
I don't blame you.
We never had nobody stick more than 2-3 years.
You're right about that.
Motherfuckers be
That's why I was
good,
just like,
then they be hurt for their career or they get traded.
exactly. And I would have never got an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I already knew that was a setup
I
for
was down
sure.
with that. Even
I
if he
was
played good, I would have never got it.
I would have never done it either. He would have to get a Super Bowl for us for me to
I
actually
wouldn't
do
have
that.
got it then. Like, I liked him from afar. I just was never
Me
an
too.
Aaron Rodgers
I
dude.
was never Rodgers. Yeah, me too. I already knew what Aaron Rodgers was too. Like he's a person that blames everybody else but himself. So, you know, but he
I
actually
could
tried to turn over a new leaf, but it was just like I knew he was gonna revert back to his old ways and stuff. But You
Yeah,
know,
him. Curtis Martin, the only dude I can remember that's sitting in my closet. I got a jersey for that wasn't drafted by the Jets.
it makes sense. I would feel super comfortable getting a Darrell Reeves jersey for sure.
Uh, oh yeah, no. Yeah, I got Martin. Yeah, I think those might be the only two. I got Martin. I got Revis.
Okay, yeah, see, that's good. You
I
ain't
ain't
getting
even
no
lie, bro.
quarterback
That
type of
was my brother,
jerseys.
bruh. Look here. The
You
closest I ever
ain't
came was Geno Smith, and then I was like,
Geno
yeah,
Smith.
I'm rocking with the dog. I was like, man, I can't win.
Right.
Can't win.
Man, we was super close with Gino. I'm like, all right, Gino's actually doing good. And then it's just like we got to 8-8, Rex Ryan days and stuff. And it was just like it just went downhill after that. I'm just like, oh man.
You
Because I
guys
knew
just
the potential that
hey,
Gino had, but he just couldn't get over that hump.
my man's got KO by a dude with 2 letters for his first name. I'm done, bro.
Crazy, man. Crazy, bro.
And we never
Crazy.
heard from him again. The
Never did.
only time, if you were to type in EK Eden Poly right now, if you knew even how to spell it, I bet you one of the first things to pull up is gonna be him socking out Gino. Like, didn't nobody give a about his career?
Nobody cared, man. Man.
I'm sick. I need to eat. They done stressed me out this whole goddamn last couple of hours. I didn't see anything else come through though. I think they
Nah, I think it's official. I think that's about it. To be
yeah.
well, it was a trade that actually happened. It was Trevor Penning to the
Oh yeah,
Chargers.
the Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So that's the only trade that actually happened so far.
What is
Man,
it?
just looking at Quentin Williams with a Cowboy and Sauce Gardner with a Colts jersey, it's not sitting right with me right now.
Crazy, ain't it?
It's not sitting right with me. Oh man,
I gotta go.
yeah.
I gotta go catch my boy later. And I'm like, what you doing with your jersey, dog? What are you?
Sheesh.
I think he done got that thing signed like 2 or 3 times or something or another.
Really?
And
Oh man.
you sick to your stomach, ain't you?
Oh
I got
man.
punched in the mouth by a teammate. Then Jet started Fitzgerald. Yeah, that is it. Oh yeah, huh? That wasn't the 2015 year though, right? I think that was right before.
I think that was 2015 because that's when we had that breakout year with
Was that the
Fitzpatrick
same
in
year?
2016.
Oh no! Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me he got rocked in
2015.
his jaw and he could have been throwing to Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my god.
yes, man. Yes. Brees Hall came out and said sick about my other brothers, man. Happy for them, but man, I'm sick right now.
I bet he is. He like who
Yo, he's like, who the hell is still around from my draft class? Jermaine Johnson, Garrett Wilson. That's about it. Man,
That's funny. Yeah, his
holy
stomach is
man.
nice. He said, God damn it. He should be happy though, because if the defense take a little, well, nah, that ain't true. I was gonna say if they take a little bit of a step back, we should be running more, but that's not how that works.
Right.
I'm
That is true.
delirious right now. That's what's happening. That's funny.
Yeah, but
Sick
this
to my
man,
dog.
Gino, he could have been throwing to Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall, man. Because I was just like, man, I feel like Gino could actually do good with these wide receivers because that's what he was missing. But he just like this man didn't believe in him at all.
That is
Oh,
crazy work.
Todd Bowles was just sticking to this man Ryan Fitzpatrick through and dick in, man. Like, it's just like,
Oh, that's crazy work. Oh yeah, these comments on my phone
and
are
pause on that too.
crazy. Oh, Just Central put up numbers today. Oh yeah, that boy going stupid.
Oh yeah, he went actually live. I was just like,
Yeah,
oh
that
man.
boy stupid. I didn't even see that. I thought he dropped the video. That boy put up
Nah, he went live.
5 minutes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he definitely went live on that one for sure.
Oh yeah, I see Jake Adams out here going stupid. Yup. Yep.
Yeah, they got something to talk about
I
today.
have to
You
peep these
know.
reactions later. I'm not sitting down for no 3 hours again, but I'm gonna have to peep some later.
For sure, man.
Ah, that's insane. All right, dog. I'm about to get up out of here. I need to
All right,
eat.
man. It was nice talking, chopping it up with you, man. And like I said, hopefully we could probably get a win this Sunday and stuff. But if not, we already know. I just hope that we could just hit on these draft picks and stuff. So, you know, and hopefully the future looks brighter than us for us.
I'm low key happy now because at least like I don't never do mock drafts or anything this early, but like now I'm actually a little interested at least.
To see who we're gonna get,
Yeah,
see if we're
like
gonna get a quarterback
now I
or a
could go
wide
right?
receiver.
2 first rounders, 2 seconds. Yeah, two
We got
seconds.
2 seconds, two first rounds, and yeah, and two first rounds for next year as well too. So that's actually a great. That's great.
Yeah, bro. I
That
might have to jump on there by the weekend or something like that and see what's up. I'm not gonna know what the hell is happening outside the first round. I might have to peep in there and give me a good look at what I need to start taking a look at.
I heard that, man. Yep. But all right, man. I'm up out of here, man. It was nice chopping it up with you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you coming through, my guy. A couple of y'all still hanging around in here with us too. Appreciate it.
Peace.
I don't know. I don't know the next time I'm going live. I know I need to at least start doing 2 for my little membership stream stuff. But maybe we talk some draft stuff next time, I guess. I don't think we're gonna be too overly excited for anything else in the meantime. But yeah, maybe we need to bust out a little early mock draft. Yeah, we'll see. All right, though, y'all. Be easy. Appreciate it. Wasn't expecting to be on here for 2 hours for sure, but
All
for
right,
sure.
man.
But as always, the
Peace.
Jets being the Jets. All right, y'all. Be easy. Appreciate it. I'm gonna catch y'all again.